with our mission to apprehend the president ending in complete and utter failure despite my flawless entering of the codes. We need to now return back to Timber and see what the plan will be from there. We learned that the president is planning on, or the president was visiting Timber in order to make a television broadcast. And our goal now is to head to that television broadcast station and figure out why that is and what's going on. Because Renoa and the Forest Owls in general are pretty confident that it's something not so good. No doubt talking about either Zone or Watts. Even outside of Biggs and Wedge, the Galbadian soldiers are pretty solid, in my personal opinion. Comic relief. They gave him absolutely no time to get back on the train. That is rude. The key information that we're learning now from Watts is that if we need to heal, there's an old man's house that has something called the Owl's Tear that we can use. I'm not sure about that, but I think we'll go to it. And also the fact that the TV broadcast station is behind a building called Timber Maniacs. Also, that was kind of mean of me. I wanted to talk and yap over the dialogues boxes, so I didn't advance them, and that means that Watts now has to walk even further to the train. Poor guy. So this is the moment I was talking about where now we can explore all of Timber, but we're gonna pretty much go straight to where we need to go. But the pet shop is now available to us. So it would seem that the owners of the pet shop have gone back to being more reputable entrepreneurs and reopened and come off vacation. Unfortunately, we can't walk around and explore the Timber pet shop, but we can explore their wares, and we're going to buy the Pet Pals volumes, so that way we can teach Angelo more abilities. These scrolls, as you can see, will teach GF abilities, but we really don't need to get them, at least not right now. So I just wanted to take a gander here and see if there was anything. Let's check out those Pet Pals. Oh, look at that little buddy. Cute. Anyway, research shows a relationship between the moon and your dog. Do you know how your dog could use the power of the moon to help you? It's Invincible Moon. The moon's mysterious power can make all allies invincible. Do a lot of walking with your dog to help him learn this trick. So this ability is great. It does what you would think if you do Renoa's Limit Break and Angelo casts Invincible Moon. You are completely invulnerable for a set amount of time. reviving doesn't help because you get KO'd right back. To answer your desperate call for help, use Angelo Reverse. That help and use get their own lines there. There must be something weird with the putting English text there instead of Japanese text, maybe. Your dog finds Phoenix Downs to revive KO'd party members in battle. There you go. That one's much less helpful in comparison to Invincible Moon. I'm just gonna double check to see how we're doing on learning whichever one it is. Yeah, we're learning Angela's Strike, and it's quite the grind to level these up. And Invincible Moon has a pretty big weight or a pretty big distance that you have to travel in order to get to it, so that'll probably be what we jump to next. Pretty good. No complaints here. Oh, of course. I believe it's up those stairs. Yeah, there are random encounters with the soldiers in this city. It shouldn't be too hard, though. Oh, wow. Nice job, Renoa. I really, really like her weapon. It's sort of a disc shooter. It's either up here or... Okay, I'm wrong. It's in the bottom screen. I remember that you have to run parallel to the tracks in order to get to the next area of timber. Here we go. It is possible to go south, but I don't think there's anything there for us right now. And here's the building Timber Maniacs that we heard about, that the TV broadcast station is supposed to be behind that. Oh, poor Watts. So this NPC gives us a little hint that we should try to maybe talk to the person in this building, but we're gonna go to Timber Maniacs first. After we one-shot a guard, most likely. Oh, it's a red one this time. Maybe he has a little bit more HP. I doubt it would be that much more, though. Yeah, that time that Renault did 100 last battle was definitely a crit. There he goes. Two AP from that guy instead of just the one. Luckily, there aren't any random encounters in Timber Maniacs. Now, I think there's some looting to be done with these stacks of magazines just haphazardly thrown here in the middle of the aisle for some reason. And thank you, Seed, for the money. Oh, I remember. I think this is the only time this is ever mentioned, but the Battle series, apparently Squall is a pretty big fan of whatever that is, having read all of them. So that item we just picked up with the Girl Next Door magazine, which we cannot read. It's a naughty magazine. I actually, honestly, cannot remember if there's a use for that or not. So this room seems empty, but I'm gonna mash X around here and see if I can... There it is, Blizzaga. So since we're not big on refining and turning cards into magic, or playing Triple Triad, this is our first encounter with an Aga spell. And I'm not quite sure who I should give it to because I don't know what Blizzaga junctions do effectively. I want to say it'll junction to pretty much anything better than what we got now, so I'll just give it to our main character Squall here. And it's only 5. But just to make sure, let's mess with his junctions. Yeah, nothing. I figured. It's crazy that I've had to read that text box a lot. It's crazy that we're already 10 videos into this. Art is indeed a very good thing. Lots of battle series around here. And there is another Timber Maniacs like the one we got in the hotel room at Bevelle Town. So there's a lot of dialogue options here, and they are long, but I always like to do this just because I like hearing the character talk. So I'm gonna do all these, but I am gonna let the recording go for a little bit longer this time to make up for it, hopefully. I always feel like that it's nice to see how Squall reacts to that specific thing and his opinions on people speaking the way that the editor does. This is kind of a weird topic to bring up to a stranger, but it's a good question. Interesting that I feel like personally from the words that this character says, you would think it was an older character, the editor. But when you get that close-up shot, it becomes pretty apparent that I don't know, to me anyway, he looks pretty young. I believe we just have 1 or 2 more now. Yeah, just 1 more. I believe we've heard mention of that evil sorceress involved in a war quite a long time ago, and I want to say maybe even the first video walking around Bevelle Garden. It's always interesting to see previous plot points or plot elements or even just moments in history brought back. Okay, thank you for bearing with me, listening to all of the editor's dialogue. I really enjoy it. Let's check out the house that we were pointed towards by that NPC right there. this woman just gave us a hint to check out the window in the second floor of her house. Oh, that's right. I've never understood the decision on translating this way. So this is a child, and they wanted to evoke a childlike speech, but it ends up kind of dropping the ball. The sleeping is fine, I suppose, but the usage of a single letter to replace entire words, like it's like we're IMing, is really strange. There's a little cat crawling on the rail right there, but that's the back alley that the woman told us about, and there's a save point there, so we most likely will be able to reach that. The building on the very right side of the screen is the pub that was built. Thank goodness his little scheme didn't pan out, or else, because we're pretty strapped for cash given our less than desirable seed ranking after the exam. So let's try and find that pub. Actually, let's try and find the old man with the owl's tears first. I think he's on the screen. Just one of these guys, no problem. Even though we only got 1 AP, level up for it. I think that was Ifrit and Syra. Good stuff. Oh, well, I don't remember this at all. Let's go with Forest. I like that one. Oh, this is a secret. I guess this is another code word, but the owls are still around. Aurora pub. I guess Aurora means Aurora. Drink until you see an Aurora. So the pub is actually down those stairs we just passed, I think. Oh, hey, this is it. This is what I was looking for. Here's the old man himself. Well, that's just a horrible noise. And now we're fully healed. It helps. Interesting that it's definitely not it's definitely not very good quality, but interesting that the circular TV on the right there seems to use a live action, for lack of a better word, photo. We'll have to come back through this area anyway, so let's head into the pub. These two rude soldiers, were forced to fight them, but they're not any tougher than any other regular soldier encounter that we've had up to this point. So I'll have Zell and Renoa attack the right one while Squall attacks the left one. Easy as pie. Oh, normal ammo. That's good. And a Buell card. Was just checking to see if there's anything of note here. It doesn't seem like it's your standard stuff. And we're obviously full up on cure and have been for some time. So we can't progress. We can't progress there because there are no trains headed towards the desert active. So let's just go inside. Okay, if you haven't looked, please, right now, do me a favor and look at how amazing whatever that is on the screen on the right is, because I cannot get over it. The door with the red marker is what leads into the back alley, but that drifter who is yelling very angrily is blocking our way. Oh, as we know from this NPC, Green Label is Tantal and Reagan. Obviously that was a different dialogue, but yeah. Do we get anything different if we observe again? Let's see. If you remember, after beating those two guards that very rudely called the residents of Timber Hicks, we obtained a Buell card. Now I think there is a different way to get him out of the way, but that's definitely the easiest one. It probably has something to do with those drinks, making him a different drink or something. The reward may be different, but it's not anything that we really care about. Probably a different card. Nice for those two little extorters to make another appearance. This guy's got it even worse than the guy that was blocking our exit. Too bad. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I wanted to see if I could interact with the cat. Oh, a drop point. Was that there before? Or is that like, maybe it only appears when you leave and then come back sometime? It was probably there and I just didn't see it. Scan magic is not very good for junctioning, but it can be helpful to see information about the enemy that you're fighting if you cast it. And here is the TV station now. So we may be taken into a series of scenes before I am able to gain control again, so I want to talk about this now before I accidentally miss the opportunity to show it off. At a first glance, this screen looks like it's just scanning and scrolling random letters that don't make much sense, just noise, meaningless noise. For the most part, that's true, and you probably won't be able to clearly make it out because it is scrolling really fast, and the PS3 upscaling of this PS1 game is not the greatest, but if you look carefully on the letters, you will see three distinct messages. There may be more, but there's three that I know of. One of which is, I am alive. A second is, bring me back there. And another is, I'll never let you forget about me. And it's insanely creepy. There's one I just saw, I'll never let you forget about me. It's very creepy, and I wish I had noticed it myself, but I totally didn't figure it out until long after I beat the game. And by figure it out, I mean learn about it from someone on the internet, of course. I understand where Renoa is coming from, but she's the one who's benefiting from this deal, so I'm not sure she should necessarily be complaining and dissing Squall and Zell here. Let's go ahead and tell her. It's so silent right now. It's very eerie to suddenly lose all the music and everything. So presumably that red text has been, and distortion has been the only thing that would appear in broadcasting, or when you try to broadcast in the past 17 years, which is pretty crazy. Quistis totally just makes it their problem. So yeah, quite the twist there. Quistis and Cypher just showing up out of nowhere. This screen reminds me a lot of a certain screen in Final Fantasy X in, oh gosh, what is the name of that town? It's not Luca. Or is it Luca? I can't remember the name of the town. I wish I had even brought this up, but one of the towns. The large capital of Spira. Zell, I love you, but oh, that was dumb. So Renoa left our party, and obviously Selfie took her place, so we're gonna have to switch junctions now. Oh, I wanted to go to switch, not junction. She is quite the low level in comparison. Double check here. Okay, yeah. unfortunately. Yeah, we don't get any control to look around the room, but there wouldn't have been anything for us to find anyway. And with that rather exciting and yet confusing turn of events, we will head back to past the scary screen and back to the save point. It would seem that Timber's independence just became a whole lot further